Hey, what is up, everybody? Oh man, I got a lot to talk about this week and the weeks going forward. I'm gonna try to make it shorter than that, but obviously, as you can tell by the title, you probably already know what I'm gonna be talking about. And no, it has nothing to do with the footage I'm showing you right here. Just letting you know, this is just to pass the time, so I'm not having you like having like a still picture of like a horse like biting on an apple or something. So, anyways, as you can tell, I'm gonna be talking a little bit about E3. Um, what I'm gonna be talking about with E3 though is actually I will be talking about the Sony and Microsoft press conference later in the future, and what I will be talking about with them will be well, it's just gonna be a lot of stuff I heard. But actually, right now though, I'm gonna be talking about one game in particular. Um, and things that I will be and the things I'll be talking about are well, the thing I'll be talking about is the new Zelda game that finally, I don't know why it took so long, but we finally got ourselves an official name for it, and it's gonna be called Breath of the Wild. Now try to take that in for a minute. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Try to take that in for a second, alright? Now, before I actually go any further in this little announcement thing, I also want to just let you know. I just want to ask this request of you to click that subscribe button if you want more. If you want to see more of my hot videos I got coming out in the future and the ones I already have. A lot of my older ones don't really matter anymore though. I might even remove some of them, but but anyways, but if you like but if you like these stories and you want to hear more of them, click that like button right down there. I know y'all want to do that. So now, without any further ado, let me just go ahead and get started here. Okay, so it's gonna be called the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, but that's not the only thing we know. Now, just hearing the title alone, um, kind of in a way weirds me out a little bit because it doesn't sound like something that would be a Zelda title. Uh, it sounds more of like a documentary that Disney Nature would come out with. So anyway, so that could be a really good thing or it could be a really bad thing. Now I'm gonna be saying that a lot actually in this video, and I'll be talking more about what I mean by that. Now the average Zelda fan might like this new title, but the average one might even hate it. Now what I mean by that is, if the average one hates it, that means a majority of Zelda fans might not even like this title. But I can't let a title defeat me, especially after watching that awesome gameplay of the game. It's amazing. It almost in a way kind of reminds me of Fallout, because and that's weird for me to say that because I never ever thought a Zelda game would ever even get remotely close to Fallout. And I mean, basically, you just go get your own food, and you can use almost anything as a weapon too. Like you can get a club from a bokoblin, or you can just pick up a stick and even use that as a sword. Now, obviously, there were other Zelda games where you could actually do that, but I don't know. It seems kind of different on this for some reason. I really don't know. I guess it's because you can. Well, see, this wouldn't be the first Zelda game that allowed you to pick up enemy weapons. Actually, you can pick up enemy weapons and you can pick up enemy weapons in The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, and also there's a slight there's one part in Skyward Sword that actually allows you to pick up weapons, and that's when you're fighting that boss, the one with all the hands, and you gotta rip him, and you gotta like take him off and hit him with like his own uh, arm or something. But anyways, but the game looks awesome. It shows the fact that you can chop down wood, and and you can collect wood to make fire pits. Um, you can hunt for food. Oh, and another thing I noticed is there are no hearts. Absolutely, there are IG Enuma already confirmed that there are no hearts in the game for you to collect. Now, does this mean you can't replenish your health? Well, no, absolutely not. You can replenish your health, but but you eat but you eat like real food, like you eat like steaks and yeah, you eat like steaks and apples and like real stuff, and just the whole even the whole like interface of you eating the items and stuff even reminds me of Fallout. It's crazy how much like Fallout it is. um but um but anyways the gameplay does look amazing. I'm not gonna lie, it looks incredible. I actually like what I've been seeing so far. Actually, the gameplay looks amazing. um Now they didn't really showcase, or not any of the gameplay footage I showed. Bill Trennan, the NOA localization management guy, he was the guy playing it. From the video I saw, or most of it I saw, anyways. It didn't show anything about. It didn't show, and I actually did. I'm pretty sure I did watch all the gameplay of his, but it didn't. It didn't show him riding the horse or anything. So we don't really know much about that. Um, but also another thing that I guess you could say sort of excites me and worries me at the same time is there's absolutely no mention of dungeons whatsoever. So this could mean one of two things. It could mean either they want to hold showing the dungeons from us, maybe so that we can see them on our own when we actually play the game, because I know Nintendo likes to do that a lot. Or they removed dungeons completely and just made it more of a survival game. And that kind of makes me a little nervous, because one of my favorite things of playing Zelda games were the dungeons, and the puzzles you do in the dungeons were like my favorite things to do in Zelda games, besides the exploration. Now, now, like I said, though, the game does look amazing, and it's funny how they showed how the items are completely like scattered up in different places, and you just have to like you basically find like bows, uh, like a bow, and you could find like different weapons like swords and stuff like just out randomly. That's probably not gonna appear in the final game. I doubt if they're gonna make it like that. I mean, I doubt they're gonna want to hide the weapons that much, because like it's going to be a lot harder to find them, which wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. Or at least for some of maybe the more rare items. But but I think they just did that as like a demonstration to show you that you can find some really good stuff just by exploring. And I did look on the top left corner of the screen, and I did see that Link still does have his traditional three starts to start off, and which obviously, if you're a Zelda gamer, you would know most Zelda games he starts out with three hearts, and that would be with the exception of Zelda 2, which didn't have hearts as your health, and The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, which you started with six, and then obviously the Four Swords Adventures, where you started with four for each level, and then obviously Triforce Heroes, which I believe the entire team had eight hearts. I think 8 or 9 hearts to start off with, and then obviously if you wore like costumes, it allowed you to have more hearts, and you'd have more hearts for your team. But but yeah, obviously but there wasn't any mention of like pieces of hearts or heart containers or anything like that. So we don't know how Link is going to be able to get more hearts. Is he going to be able to get more hearts in the traditional way, just collecting pieces of hearts or heart containers? Or will there have to be another way? Or will it have like an RPG element where kind of like how Zelda 2 had, where you kill enough enemies and you level up and you choose if you want to level up your attack, your speed, your health, your defense, or whatever, is it going to be that way? Um, now, I'm not going to say by any means, I don't, I mean, I know I'm not most people, but I don't believe Zelda 2 was really a bad game. It definitely was a lot different than the first Zelda game, and in my opinion, wasn't as good as the first Zelda game. But it was still, I still respected it, and I respected the fact that Nintendo wanted to try something new. Those before Zelda really had a standard, and and they might even try new standards. I remember one of the things I loved the most about Zelda games was the fact that they loved innovating on weapons and just trying new ideas for weapons and items and just see which ones worked and which ones didn't. And obviously, the ones that worked, they would obviously bring back in future Zelda games. The ones that didn't work, they would just leave alone. And like the ones that worked, obviously, would be like the bows, the bombs. Obviously, those ones worked because they're like in practically almost every Zelda game. As a matter of fact, the bow and bombs are in every one except for Zelda 2 that I can recall. But and 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 then obviously there were weapons that obviously that didn't work so well that they didn't end up bringing back, like the spinner and the Dominion rod. Those were obviously weapons that weren't very popular. That items that people probably just didn't like too much, which is one of the reasons. See, but every time they come out with a new game and they come out with an item that's not really that good, it doesn't make me mad because the main reason why it doesn't make me mad is because I'm just happy that Nintendo likes to try to innovate with different items and just kind of experiment with them. Which ones do the fans like and which ones do they not? And they probably keep notes of this. And whichever ones they like, they'll bring back more, and whichever ones they don't like, you probably won't even see again. Like there were even, I guess, items that were kind of mixed upon Zelda gamers. One, I guess you could say in particular, let's see, what item was? Oh yeah, the boomerang. Because the boomerang was missing in a lot of Zelda titles, but it was also in a lot of Zelda titles. I would say it was probably in more Zelda titles than it wasn't, but it definitely wasn't in as much as the bombs and the arrows. So I mean, obviously, in my opinion, the bombs, the arrows, and probably even the hook shot are probably like the three most popular items that everybody wants back in the Zelda titles. And I know everybody always requests, um, in Zelda games to always make it to where items that are used, that items that are the items aren't only just to be used in that item in that dungeon you find them in. They could be used all around. So that would be awesome. That's hopefully what they're going to be trying here. But like I said, I didn't hear anything about dungeons, but I did hear about grottos. And I don't know if those are going to act like dungeons or what type of buildings or places those are going to be. But really, at the end of the day, I really hope this game becomes good. And I really hope it does. And I really and no doubt I'm definitely going to be getting it. And to be honest, and you probably know me. I'm going to be getting the next NX console, anyways. The new NX, whatever that's going to be. Even though they're going to be coming out with the new Zelda game on the NX and the Wii U, which again I'm not really too happy about because if you want to draw more people to your new console, you want that one game that's like a must-have on the new console, and people are gonna buy the new console almost no matter what it costs. Now that's not always true because a lot of the times if like a console gets over like $500, people are gonna be like, no, no, no. And the only reason why people complained about the Xbox One wasn't really necessarily because of its ridiculous $500 launch price. It was actually because they shoved and forced the Kinect down your throat, which obviously Xbox did get it right, and they were like, okay, we're not going to include the Kinect anymore. I don't even know if they're even making games anymore that even support the Kinect. Like, seriously. I mean, now, I'm pretty sure the average Xbox gamer uh, probably play in their mom's basement, so I doubt it would even be big enough to be able to have a Kinect around. Okay, heck, I don't even think my room is even big enough to be able to have one of those things. But anyways, so that's my thoughts on the new Zelda title. Hit me down in the comments on what you think. Do you think it's gonna be good? Do you think it's gonna be bad? What do you even think about the new voice acting that was in it? But anyways, yeah. So just hit me up in the comments. Like, dislike. And I will see you next time whenever I upload a new video. Alright? Peace.